the 7 signs your hormones are out of balance. Have you ever felt exhausted for no reason, gained weight despite eating healthy, or suddenly struggled with anxiety or mood swings? What if I told you these could be signs your hormones are out of balance, and your body is quietly crying for help? Hormonal imbalances affect millions of people, yet most don't even realize it. These powerful chemical messengers regulate nearly everything: your energy, mood, metabolism, sleep, and even how clearly you think. When they're off, everything feels off. But the signs are often subtle, easy to dismiss or blame on stress, aging, or a busy life. In this video, we'll reveal the 7 warning signs your hormones are out of balance and what they might mean for your health. Because if you catch them early, you can take control before your body spirals into deeper issues. Stay tuned, you may just discover the missing piece to how you've been feeling. 1. Fatigue that won't go away. You're sleeping 8 hours a night, maybe more. You cut back on late nights, try to eat better, maybe even start exercising. But no matter what you do, you still feel completely drained. You wake up feeling like you haven't slept at all. You push through your day like you're wading through wet cement. And by the time evening hits, you're not just tired, you're exhausted mentally and physically. This kind of fatigue isn't normal. It's not laziness or a lack of motivation. It's a sign. And one of the clearest signs your hormones are out of balance. Your energy levels are controlled by a delicate orchestra of hormones, especially cortisol, thyroid hormones, insulin, and even sex hormones like estrogen and testosterone. When just one of these becomes imbalanced, the entire system is thrown off and your body suffers for it. Let's start with cortisol. Often called the stress hormone, cortisol plays a vital role in helping your body respond to stress. In a healthy person, cortisol levels follow a natural rhythm: high in the morning to help you wake up and get going, then gradually dropping throughout the day so you can wind down and rest at night. But in today's world, chronic stress keeps cortisol levels high for too long, or causes your adrenal glands to crash, leading to levels that are too low. Both extremes are exhausting. High cortisol means you feel constantly on edge, anxious, jittery, unable to relax. Low cortisol, on the other hand, makes you feel completely wiped out. You're too tired to exercise, too foggy to focus, and no amount of sleep feels like enough. Then there's your thyroid, the tiny gland at the base of your neck that has a huge impact on how your body uses energy. If your thyroid is underactive, or what doctors call hypothyroidism, everything slows down. Your metabolism, your digestion, your brain function, even your heartbeat. One of the first symptoms? Crushing fatigue. You may also feel cold all the time, gain weight without explanation, and notice your skin or hair becoming dry or brittle. Insulin also plays a role. This hormone controls how your body processes sugar. If your cells become resistant to insulin, which is increasingly common due to poor diet and high stress, your energy levels crash. You may feel an intense need to nap after meals, especially ones high in carbs or sugar. You'll crave sweets or caffeine in the afternoon, just to get through the rest of the day. But those quick fixes only make the problem worse. Sex hormones are also part of the puzzle. In women, estrogen and progesterone fluctuations can cause fatigue, especially in the days before menstruation, during perimenopause, or after childbirth. For men, declining testosterone levels can lead to a dip in energy, motivation, and physical strength. In both cases, this isn't just about feeling sleepy, it's about feeling like you've lost a part of yourself. Now here's the tricky part. Many people live like this for years. They think it's just part of getting older or part of having a demanding life. They try to power through. They might even blame themselves for being lazy or unmotivated, not realizing that their body is working against them because their hormones are out of sync. If this sounds like you, the most important thing to know is this: you're not imagining it. And you're not alone. There are real biological reasons why your energy is gone. And there are also real solutions. It starts with recognizing fatigue as more than just tiredness. It's your body's cry for help, and it's one of the earliest warning signs that your hormonal system needs support. So what can you do? First, start tracking your fatigue. Does it hit at certain times of the day? After meals? Around your cycle? Keeping a journal can help identify patterns. Next, consider getting your hormone levels tested. A simple blood test can reveal imbalances in thyroid hormones, cortisol, testosterone, and more. Diet is also crucial. Cutting out processed foods and sugar can help stabilize insulin and reduce inflammation. Adding healthy fats, lean proteins, and plenty of vegetables can give your body the fuel it needs to heal. Don't underestimate the power of hydration either. Dehydration alone can worsen fatigue. Stress management is key. Whether it's deep breathing, meditation, nature walks, or just saying no more often, finding ways to reduce stress helps balance cortisol and protect your energy. Finally, prioritize sleep, not just the number of hours, but the quality of those hours. Turn off screens before bed, create a dark, cool sleeping environment, and go to bed at the same time every night. Sleep is when your body restores hormone balance. If you're skimping on it, everything else suffers. Fatigue isn't something you just have to live with. It's a warning sign, a clue. And when you understand what it means, you can take steps to fix it. Because you deserve to feel energized. You deserve to wake up ready to face your day, not dreading it. You deserve a life that feels full, not like you're just surviving. Hormonal imbalance may be the hidden reason for your exhaustion, but now that you know, you can begin the journey toward real healing and lasting energy. 2. Unexplained weight gain or trouble losing weight. You're eating right. You're moving your body. Maybe you've even cut calories, joined the gym, or started a strict new plan. But no matter what you do, the scale doesn't budge. Or worse, it keeps going up. Clothes feel tighter, your confidence starts to drop, and you're left wondering, what am I doing wrong? The truth? It might not be your effort. It could be your hormones. When your hormones are out of balance, weight becomes more than just a number. It becomes a symptom. And unless you address the root hormonal issue, diet and exercise alone may never be enough. Let's talk about the key players behind hormonal weight struggles: cortisol, insulin, estrogen, thyroid hormones, and even testosterone. First, cortisol. As mentioned in part 1, cortisol is your stress hormone. When your body is under constant pressure, whether from work, relationships, lack of sleep, or internal inflammation, it produces more cortisol. And when cortisol is too high for too long, it tells your body to store fat, especially in your belly. Why? Because your body thinks it's in survival mode, and belly fat is considered protective. This kind of fat is also the most dangerous, linked to heart disease and diabetes. Next comes insulin, the hormone that manages your blood sugar. Every time you eat, insulin helps shuttle glucose from your bloodstream into your cells for energy. But if your cells become resistant to insulin, your body compensates by producing even more. High insulin levels promote fat storage and prevent your body from burning existing fat. The result? Weight gain, cravings for carbs, and crashes in energy. Even if you're eating healthy, your body may still be in fat storage mode if your insulin is out of balance. Estrogen, especially in women, plays a huge role in body fat distribution. During perimenopause or menopause, estrogen levels drop, which can cause fat to shift from the hips and thighs to the stomach. At the same time, low estrogen can slow metabolism, making it easier to gain and harder to lose. In men, an imbalance between testosterone and estrogen, especially when testosterone is low, can lead to increased fat, particularly in the chest and midsection. Your thyroid also deserves attention. An underactive thyroid slows everything down, including how your body burns calories. You might be eating the same as always, but you're gaining weight simply because your metabolism has stalled. Hypothyroidism is notorious for causing stubborn weight gain, bloating, and difficulty losing even small amounts of fat. And let's not forget testosterone. While often thought of as a male hormone, women also need healthy levels of testosterone to maintain muscle mass and a strong metabolism. When testosterone dips, whether due to age, stress, or lifestyle, you lose muscle, and your body burns fewer calories at rest. All of this adds up to a frustrating reality. When hormones are imbalanced, your body is working against your weight goals, not with them. And yet, many people are told to just eat less and move more. They're shamed for not losing weight, accused of not trying hard enough, when the truth is, they're fighting a battle against their own biology. So what can you do? First, shift your mindset. Understand that weight gain is not always a result of laziness or lack of willpower. It can be a signal, one that your hormones need support. Get tested. Simple lab work can reveal imbalances in cortisol, insulin, thyroid hormones, estrogen, and testosterone. Knowing where your body stands is the first step in creating a personalized plan. Nutritionally, focus on stabilizing blood sugar. This means cutting back on refined carbs and sugars and eating balanced meals with protein, fiber, and healthy fats. These foods support insulin sensitivity and reduce cravings that sabotage your progress. Managing stress is critical. Remember, high cortisol means high belly fat. Find practices that lower your stress response: meditation, yoga, journaling, deep breathing, or even just 15 quiet minutes a day. Sleep is another weight loss tool you might be ignoring. Poor sleep raises cortisol and ghrelin, the hunger hormone, while lowering leptin, the hormone that tells you when you're full. Aim for at least 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Exercise smart. If your cortisol is already high, intense workouts might make things worse. Instead, incorporate moderate strength training, walking, and gentle movement to support your metabolism without overwhelming your stress system. For women, cycle syncing, eating and moving in tune with your hormonal fluctuations, can be especially powerful. And for men, supporting testosterone through diet, sleep, and stress reduction can make a dramatic difference in both weight and energy. In short, weight gain isn't just about food, it's about function. When your hormones are out of balance, your body holds on to fat, slows down your metabolism, and makes weight loss feel impossible. But there is hope. Once you start working with your hormones instead of against them, everything shifts. The weight starts to come off, not because you're punishing yourself, but because your body is finally in balance. This is not about chasing a number on a scale. It's about restoring your health, reclaiming your energy, and learning to trust your body again. So if you're stuck in a cycle of dieting, exercising, and still not seeing results, maybe it's time to stop blaming yourself and start listening to what your hormones are trying to tell you. 3. Mood swings, anxiety, or depression. One moment you feel fine. The next, you're overwhelmed, irritated, or close to tears, without warning and without reason. Or maybe you're battling anxiety daily, a constant restlessness or dread you can't explain. Some days, it's depression that takes over, draining your motivation, darkening your thoughts, and making simple tasks feel impossible. These emotional shifts can be terrifying. You may start to question your mental stability, your relationships, and even your sense of self. But here's what most people don't realize. Your hormones can have a powerful influence on your mood. Mood swings, anxiety, and depression aren't always rooted in emotional trauma or mental illness. In many cases, they are biochemical reactions caused by hormonal imbalances. Let's look at the science behind how hormones affect your brain. Estrogen is often called the feel-good hormone for a reason. It increases serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for happiness and emotional stability. Estrogen also affects dopamine and norepinephrine, which help regulate motivation and alertness. When estrogen drops, as it does before your period, during perimenopause, or after childbirth, your brain chemistry changes. This can result in irritability, sadness, sensitivity, and mood swings. Progesterone, another female hormone, has a calming effect on the brain. It promotes better sleep and reduces anxiety. But when progesterone levels drop or become unbalanced with estrogen, a condition often referred to as estrogen dominance, you may feel anxious, wired, or emotionally unstable. Testosterone also plays a role in mood, and not just for men. In both men and women, low testosterone can contribute to feelings of depression, apathy, and low motivation. In men, declining testosterone levels often lead to emotional flatness, reduced confidence, and an inability to handle stress like they once did. Then there's thyroid hormone. If your thyroid is underactive, it can cause symptoms very similar to depression: fatigue, low mood, brain fog, and lack of interest in activities you once enjoyed. Many people are prescribed antidepressants when the real issue is an undiagnosed thyroid imbalance. Cortisol also can't be ignored. Chronic stress and high cortisol levels can cause anxiety, restlessness, and sleep disturbances. Over time, this can wear down your emotional resilience, leading to burnout and emotional exhaustion. The most challenging part? These hormonal shifts are often invisible. There's no cast, no fever, no obvious injury, just a deep internal chaos that affects your thoughts, emotions, and sense of control. And because it's invisible, many people suffer in silence. They're told to just calm down, snap out of it, or worse, stop being so emotional. But your emotions are not imaginary. They are real. Chemical signals that something inside your body is out of sync. So what can you do? Start by paying attention to patterns. Are your emotional shifts tied to your menstrual cycle? Do you feel worse during certain phases like before your period or mid-cycle? If so, your symptoms may be cyclical and tied to estrogen and progesterone fluctuations. If you've noticed emotional flatness or lack of motivation over time, consider getting your testosterone and thyroid levels checked. These are key players in emotional well-being and are often overlooked, especially in women. Anxiety that hits out of nowhere, especially with racing heart, shallow breathing, or insomnia, can be linked to cortisol spikes. Learning how to manage stress through mindfulness, breath work, or gentle movement can help bring cortisol back into balance. Nutrition also supports mental health. Omega-3 fats, magnesium, B vitamins, and zinc are critical for hormone production and brain function. A diet low in sugar and high in whole foods helps stabilize your mood by preventing insulin crashes and inflammation. Sleep hygiene is essential. Poor sleep worsens mood swings, increases anxiety, and disrupts hormonal balance. Aim for consistent sleep and waking times, keep screens out of the bedroom, and wind down with calming routines. Physical movement is another game changer. Regular exercise increases endorphins, stabilizes insulin, reduces cortisol, and helps regulate estrogen and testosterone. You don't need intense workouts. Just moving your body in a way that feels good can boost your mood dramatically. If you suspect a deeper imbalance, speak with a healthcare provider who understands hormonal health. Traditional medicine may only offer antidepressants, but a functional or integrative practitioner may help you explore root causes and work toward natural hormone restoration. Lastly, give yourself grace. Mood issues are not a weakness. They are not a failure. They are a sign that your body and mind are calling out for balance. You are not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You are not broken. You are experiencing real, measurable chemical changes that can be identified, addressed, and healed. Once your hormones are balanced, the emotional chaos begins to lift, the dark fog begins to clear, and the version of you that feels calm, capable, and confident returns. Because she was never gone. She was just waiting for the balance to return. 4. Sleep problems or insomnia. It's late at night. You're exhausted. Your body is begging for rest. But your mind won't shut off, or maybe you fall asleep easily, only to wake up at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, unable to fall back asleep. Night after night, you toss and turn, waking up more tired than when you went to bed. If this sounds familiar, your hormones could be to blame. Sleep is one of the most critical functions of your body. It's during sleep that your brain resets, your cells repair, and your hormones regulate. But when your hormones are out of balance, your sleep cycles are the first to suffer. Let's start with cortisol. This stress hormone is meant to follow a daily rhythm, highest in the morning to help you wake up and lowest at night to help you wind down. But when your stress levels are high and cortisol stays elevated into the evening, your body remains in a state of alert. You might feel wired but tired, exhausted but unable to relax or drift off. This is a classic sign of adrenal dysregulation and can wreak havoc on your sleep. Then there's melatonin, the hormone that signals your body it's time to sleep. Melatonin is produced in response to darkness and suppressed by light, especially blue light from phones, TVs, and computer screens. But even if you avoid screens, melatonin production can be disrupted by high nighttime cortisol, poor gut health, or a lack of key nutrients like magnesium, B6, and zinc. Estrogen and progesterone also play a huge role in sleep, especially for women. Estrogen helps regulate serotonin and promotes deeper sleep, while progesterone has a natural calming, sedative effect. When these hormones drop, such as before your period or during perimenopause and menopause, women often experience insomnia, night sweats, and restless sleep. Hot flashes can cause sudden awakenings, and hormonal dips may lead to increased anxiety at night. In men, declining testosterone levels can interfere with deep, restorative sleep. Low testosterone has been linked to sleep apnea, frequent awakenings, and overall reduced sleep quality. If you wake up feeling unrefreshed despite being in bed for 7 to 8 hours, it might not be about how long you sleep, but how well your hormones are supporting your sleep cycles. Thyroid hormones also matter. An overactive thyroid, hyperthyroidism, can cause restlessness, racing thoughts, and night sweats. An underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism, can cause fatigue during the day, but difficulty falling into deep sleep at night. Both conditions disrupt your circadian rhythm, leaving you out of sync and chronically tired. So what can you do to restore your sleep and your hormonal balance? First, reset your circadian rhythm. Your body thrives on routine. Try going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Expose yourself to natural sunlight early in the morning to signal your brain that it's time to be alert. And as the evening approaches, dim the lights and avoid screens at least an hour before bed to encourage melatonin production. Support your nervous system. High nighttime cortisol is often driven by chronic stress. Implement calming rituals like meditation, journaling, reading, gentle yoga, or taking a warm bath before bed. Avoid high-stimulation activities at night, including intense workouts, late-night emails, or scrolling through social media. Nutritional support is also key. Magnesium is known as nature's relaxant and is essential for melatonin and GABA production, the brain chemical that promotes calm. You can find magnesium in leafy greens, nuts, seeds, or through supplementation. Herbal teas like chamomile, passion flower, and lemon balm can also aid relaxation. Balance your blood sugar. Spikes and crashes in blood sugar, often caused by sugary snacks or skipping meals, can trigger nighttime cortisol surges and wake you up in the middle of the night. Eat balanced meals throughout the day and consider a small protein-rich snack before bed if you often wake up hungry. In women, supporting estrogen and progesterone can improve sleep during menstrual cycles, perimenopause, and menopause. This might include herbal supplements like chasteberry or maca, hormone replacement therapy under medical guidance, or specific dietary adjustments to support hormone detox and balance. For men, boosting testosterone naturally through strength training, zinc-rich foods, quality sleep, and stress management can improve sleep quality and reduce sleep disturbances over time. Also, don't overlook your sleep environment. Your bedroom should be cool, dark, and quiet. Consider blackout curtains, a white noise machine, or an eye mask if external light or noise is an issue. Keep electronics out of the bedroom whenever possible. If your sleep problems persist despite good habits, get your hormone levels checked. Imbalances in cortisol, melatonin, thyroid hormones, and sex hormones can all affect sleep, and they're measurable through testing. Most importantly, don't normalize poor sleep. It's not just an inconvenience, it's a warning sign. When sleep suffers, everything suffers. Your mood, your focus, your metabolism, your immune system, and yes, your hormones. Poor sleep becomes a vicious cycle. Hormone imbalances cause sleep problems, which worsen hormone imbalances, and the cycle repeats. But the good news is this: sleep is also one of the most powerful tools you have to heal your hormones. When you restore your sleep, you begin to restore balance. When your body is truly resting, it can finally repair and regulate. You wake up with more clarity, more energy, and a body that works with you, not against you. So, don't ignore the signs. Your sleepless nights are not random. They're a signal your hormones need support. And once you give your body what it needs, peaceful, restorative sleep can return. And with it, the energy and calm you've been missing. 5. Persistent acne, hair loss, or skin changes. You thought breakouts were just a teenage problem, but here you are, still battling stubborn acne as an adult. Or maybe you've started noticing your hair thinning, falling out in clumps, or becoming dry and brittle. Your skin doesn't look or feel the same either. It's dull, inflamed, or suddenly oily in ways you can't explain. Sound familiar? These skin and hair issues are not just surface-level concerns. They're often visible signs that your internal hormones are out of balance. Your skin is like a mirror for your hormonal health. When something shifts inside, it often shows up outside, especially in the form of acne, dryness, excessive oil production, or premature aging. Let's start with acne. Hormonal acne typically appears around the jawline, chin, and lower face. It's often deep, cystic, painful, and difficult to treat with traditional skincare. The key culprits? Androgens, male hormones like testosterone, which are present in both men and women. When testosterone is too high, or when the balance between estrogen and testosterone is off, it can stimulate excess oil production in the skin. That oil clogs pores, feeds acne-causing bacteria, and leads to breakouts. This is especially common in conditions like polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, where women have elevated androgen levels. But even outside of PCOS, hormonal fluctuations before periods, during pregnancy, or in menopause can lead to sudden breakouts. Next comes hair loss. If you're losing more hair than usual, noticing thinning at the crown, or finding bald patches, hormones may be to blame. One major factor is dihydrotestosterone, DHT, a more potent form of testosterone. DHT can shrink hair follicles, shorten the hair growth cycle, and lead to hair thinning, especially in men, but also in women with androgen imbalances. On the other hand, low thyroid hormone levels can lead to overall thinning of the hair, dry scalp, and brittle strands. If your outer eyebrows are thinning or your hair feels lifeless no matter what products you use, it's time to consider a thyroid check. Estrogen and progesterone also play a huge role in hair health. When these hormones are balanced, they help maintain strong, shiny hair. But during perimenopause, menopause, or after childbirth, when estrogen drops, many women experience sudden hair loss. It can be alarming and emotionally distressing, especially when the shedding feels excessive. Your skin also speaks volumes. Estrogen helps maintain collagen, the protein that keeps your skin plump, youthful, and hydrated. When estrogen declines, skin becomes thinner, more fragile, and prone to dryness and wrinkles. A drop in progesterone can also lead to increased oil production and acne, while cortisol, the stress hormone, can trigger inflammation, rashes, or flare-ups of conditions like eczema or psoriasis. Insulin resistance also contributes. When your body struggles to regulate blood sugar, it can stimulate excess androgen production, worsen acne, and disrupt collagen production. High insulin can even lead to dark patches of skin, especially around the neck and underarms, a condition known as acanthosis nigricans. All these skin and hair changes are signals. Your body is trying to tell you that the internal balance is off. So what can you do? First, don't just treat the symptoms, treat the source. Topical creams and shampoos may provide temporary relief, but true healing starts from within. Get tested. If you're dealing with persistent acne, hair loss, or major skin changes, consider checking your androgen levels, estrogen, progesterone, thyroid hormones, and insulin. A full hormone panel can reveal the real cause behind your symptoms. Support your liver and gut. These two systems help eliminate excess hormones from your body. If your liver is sluggish or your gut is inflamed, hormones like estrogen can recirculate and worsen imbalances. Eat fiber-rich foods, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, and consider natural detoxifiers like milk thistle or dandelion tea. Balance your blood sugar. Stable insulin levels support clearer skin and balanced hormones. Avoid refined carbs and sugary snacks. Instead, focus on whole foods, lean proteins, healthy fats, and slow-digesting carbohydrates. For hair health, prioritize nutrients like biotin, zinc, iron, omega-3s, and vitamin D. These are essential for strong follicles and healthy growth. You may also explore adaptogens like ashwagandha or saw palmetto, which can help regulate cortisol and androgens naturally. When it comes to skincare, less is often more. Harsh treatments can irritate hormonally sensitive skin. Choose gentle, non-comedogenic products and don't skip moisturizer. Hydration is key, even for oily or acne-prone skin. Sleep, of course, is essential. Hormone regeneration happens during deep sleep. If you're constantly sleep deprived, your body doesn't get the chance to rebalance, and skin and hair issues will only worsen. Finally, don't underestimate the power of stress management. High cortisol levels can cause breakouts, increase oil production, trigger inflammation, and even speed up aging. Prioritize rest, calm, and mindfulness. Your skin and hair will thank you. In the end, acne and hair loss are not just cosmetic concerns. They are your body's way of waving a red flag, asking you to look deeper. By paying attention to these signs, by supporting your hormones from the inside out, you can restore your glow, your confidence, and your sense of balance. Because your body knows how to heal, it just needs the right support to do it. 6. Low libido or changes in sexual function. You used to feel desire, maybe not all the time, but enough to feel connected, alive, and in tune with your body. But now, something's changed. Your sex drive has disappeared. Intimacy feels like a chore. You avoid touch, make excuses, or feel numb where you used to feel excitement. And it's not just about desire. Maybe arousal is more difficult, orgasms feel less intense, or your body doesn't respond the way it used to. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're not broken. These symptoms often stem from hormonal imbalances, not personal failure or emotional distance. Sexual desire, function, and satisfaction are deeply influenced by your body's internal chemistry, especially your hormones. Let's begin with testosterone. Often thought of as a male hormone, testosterone is actually crucial for both men and women. It fuels libido, sexual responsiveness, and physical sensitivity. When testosterone drops, as it naturally does with age, chronic stress, poor diet, or certain medications, libido often plummets. You might feel disinterested in sex or notice that your body isn't reacting to stimulation the way it once did. In women, estrogen and progesterone also play vital roles in sexual function. Estrogen helps maintain vaginal lubrication and elasticity. When estrogen declines, especially during perimenopause and menopause, many women experience vaginal dryness, thinning of the vaginal walls, and painful intercourse. Progesterone, while more subtle in its role, supports relaxation and calmness. When it drops or becomes imbalanced with estrogen, women may feel anxious, irritable, or emotionally disconnected, none of which support a healthy sex life. For men, low testosterone can also lead to erectile dysfunction, decreased stamina, and delayed or absent orgasms. And when cortisol, the stress hormone, is chronically elevated, it can suppress both testosterone and estrogen production. Your body prioritizes survival over reproduction during stress, shutting down desire and sexual function to conserve energy. Thyroid hormones also influence libido. An underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism, can slow metabolism, dampen energy, cause weight gain, and lead to reduced interest in sex. Even mild thyroid dysfunction can impair sexual desire and responsiveness, often without obvious symptoms. Insulin resistance and blood sugar imbalances also have a role. High insulin can increase inflammation, disrupt sex hormone production, and impair blood flow, particularly important for arousal and orgasm in both men and women. But here's the most important truth. Losing your sex drive is not just part of aging, and it's not something you have to live with. Your libido is a powerful reflection of your overall health, especially your hormonal health. When it disappears, it's a signal, not a sentence. So what can you do? First, take the pressure off yourself. Understand that libido is not purely mental or emotional. It's physical, biological, and deeply influenced by hormonal changes. Blaming yourself or your partner only adds to the stress. Next, get tested. Check your testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, thyroid function, and insulin levels. A full hormonal panel can provide insight into the root causes of your sexual symptoms. Nutritional support is key. Certain nutrients like zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3s are essential for hormone production and sexual health. Make sure your diet includes plenty of whole foods, healthy fats, lean proteins, and fiber. Support your adrenal glands. Chronic stress destroys libido by elevating cortisol and suppressing sex hormones. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, gentle yoga, and nature walks help calm your nervous system and restore hormone balance. Improve blood flow. Physical activity, hydration, and circulation-boosting foods like leafy greens, beets, and berries can enhance sexual responsiveness. In some cases, herbs like maca, tribulus, or ginseng may offer natural support for libido. If vaginal dryness is a concern, consider natural lubricants or estrogen-supportive supplements. Don't suffer in silence. There are real, effective solutions for this deeply personal issue. Communication also matters. If you're in a relationship, talk openly with your partner. Let them know it's not about them. It's about what's happening inside your body. Sharing your experience can foster intimacy and create space for healing together. And remember, sexual energy isn't just about intercourse. It's about connection, confidence, and feeling alive in your own skin. Restoring your libido means reconnecting with yourself on every level, physically, emotionally, hormonally. As your hormones come back into balance, so will your desire. You'll rediscover pleasure, intimacy, and the joy of feeling fully present in your body. Not because you forced it, but because your body is finally supported and aligned. Low libido is not a flaw, it's a clue. And with the right awareness and care, it can be the beginning of a powerful transformation, not just in your sex life, but in your whole sense of vitality. 7. Brain fog, memory issues, and trouble concentrating. You walk into a room and forget why you're there. You lose your train of thought mid-sentence. You reread the same paragraph over and over, and it still doesn't sink in. If you've been struggling with forgetfulness, mental fatigue, or difficulty focusing, you might be dealing with more than just a busy life. You might be experiencing hormone-related brain fog. Brain fog isn't just feeling tired or distracted. It's a real frustrating state where your mental clarity disappears. You feel slow, fuzzy, and disconnected from your usual sharpness. And for many people, it's one of the earliest signs that their hormones are out of balance. Let's explore the hormonal causes behind it. Estrogen plays a vital role in brain health, especially in women. It supports memory, cognition, and the communication between brain cells. During perimenopause or menopause, when estrogen levels fluctuate or drop, many women report memory lapses, difficulty concentrating, and slower thinking. It can feel like early dementia, and it's terrifying, especially when it happens in your 30s or 40s. But it's more common than you think, and often reversible. Progesterone also supports brain function. It has a calming effect on the nervous system, helps regulate sleep, and protects against overstimulation. Low progesterone can lead to anxiety, restlessness, and poor sleep, all of which interfere with focus and memory. In men, declining testosterone levels can impair cognitive performance, reduce motivation, and cause mental fatigue. Testosterone helps with spatial awareness, reaction time, and mental stamina. When levels drop, men often feel less driven, more forgetful, and mentally sluggish. Thyroid hormones are another major player. If your thyroid is underactive, your metabolism slows, including brain metabolism. This can lead to memory problems, slower thinking, and depressive symptoms. Even mild hypothyroidism can cause significant mental fog, and it's often misdiagnosed as depression or stress. Cortisol, your stress hormone, affects brain performance too. Chronic stress raises cortisol to harmful levels, damaging brain cells in the hippocampus, the part responsible for memory and learning. High cortisol also interferes with sleep, which only worsens brain fog. On the flip side, cortisol that's too low, often due to adrenal fatigue, can leave you feeling spaced out and mentally drained. Insulin resistance and blood sugar swings can also impair brain function. When your brain doesn't get a steady supply of glucose, it struggles to stay alert. That's why a high sugar meal might give you a burst of energy, followed by a mental crash an hour later. Over time, poor blood sugar control contributes to inflammation and cognitive decline. So, what can you do to lift the fog and get your mind back? Start with your lifestyle. Quality sleep is essential. Your brain detoxifies, restores, and resets itself during deep sleep. If you're not sleeping well, your focus and memory will always be affected. Make sleep a priority. Exercise boosts brain function by increasing blood flow and releasing brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that supports brain cell growth and repair. Even a brisk 20-minute walk can sharpen your thinking and lift your mood. Nourish your brain with the right nutrients. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish or flaxseed, B vitamins, vitamin D, magnesium, and antioxidants all support cognitive health and hormone production. A whole food, anti-inflammatory diet helps regulate insulin, lower cortisol, and fuel your brain. Balance your blood sugar. Avoid skipping meals or loading up on sugar and refined carbs. Instead, eat balanced meals with protein, fiber, and healthy fats to keep your brain fueled and stable throughout the day. Manage stress in ways that work for you. Deep breathing, grounding exercises, and daily quiet time help regulate cortisol. The more balanced your stress response, the sharper your brain. If you suspect thyroid or hormonal issues, don't hesitate to get tested. Blood tests can reveal imbalances in estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, thyroid hormones, and insulin, all of which affect mental clarity. Brain fog is not just an inconvenience. It's your brain's way of telling you it needs support. And once your hormones are back in balance, the fog begins to lift. Your thoughts become clearer, your focus returns, your memory sharpens. You feel more like yourself again. You were never losing it. You were living with a system out of sync. But now, with the right tools and awareness, you can take your brain back. And with it, your energy, clarity, and confidence. Your body is always speaking to you through your energy, your mood, your skin, your sleep, and your mind. These 7 signs aren't random. They're signals that your hormones are out of balance and need your attention. The good news? Balance is possible. With the right awareness, support, and action, you can heal from the inside out. You don't have to live in survival mode. You were meant to thrive. And now, you know where to begin.